Now, what I have gathered about this is that, first of all, this private jet is pick up and drop and go pick up and bring back. It's not a private jet that takes you, go sit there and wait for you. The cost, as I'm gathering, is anywhere between 40 to 45,000 US dollars. Now, what I have gathered about this is that, first of all, this private jet is pick up and drop and go pick up and bring back. It's not a private jet that takes you, go sit there and wait for you. The cost, as I'm gathering, is anywhere between 40 to 45,000 US dollars.
You see where helmet here representative Bole. All right, so he just arrived here at the capital. Yeah, Chief, why are you wearing helmet this morning?
No comment. No comment for now.
No comment for now. All right, so yeah.
President Joseph Nima Kweka was submitting the National Draft Budget 2025. We want to assure the President and the Liberian people and the development partners that on our stewardship we seek to keep the legislature calm, peaceful, and effective in doing the Liberian people's business. To demonstrate this commitment, we accelerate the budget debate, but at the same time, we give it all scrutiny, proper scrutiny, and due diligence. The national envelope submitted by the President, His Excellency Joseph Nima Kweka, is an estimate of 851.8 million. We are told that this draft instrument exceeded the 2024 final and recap budget by 15.3%, which was then 738.9 million. The draft budget accordingly captured appropriation aimed at delivering on key priorities of the arrest agenda for inclusive development, as well as addressing debt services, and other obligations of the government. The draft budget addresses key priorities of this government: the agribusiness,
Okay, good morning, wherever you are and whatever you are doing. Good morning, a pleasant welcome to yet another very fascinating edition of the Today Show right here on your favorite dial. We are coming to you live on Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, Super, and Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, and via www.spoonfmradio.com. And welcome to your most preferred breakfast program. My name is Yekezi Zobel. Always good to sit in here every morning to provide you a very, very palatable and scrumptious breakfast from odious Congo Town in Monrovia, Liberia. So wherever you are and whatever you are doing, let's have a wonderful time together. What do we have lined up here for you? Very shortly, we'll bring you the weather forecast so that you know the outlook of the day. We also bring you the latest exchange rates from the Central Bank of Liberia. We bring you trending issues. We bring you sports, both local and international sports. And we also bring you some foreign developments from the BBC. And then later we delve into some of the trending happenings in the country, folks. But before that, we will cut across Liberia to speak to our various correspondents. Our various correspondents who will be bringing us up to speed with happenings in the various counties. At 9 o'clock, we play host via the telephone to the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Agency. Is Bob Cato. Bob Cato will be our guest here this morning at 9 o'clock via the telephone. And he will be telling us more about his recent turning over program of a very, very gigantic office space. So the NFAA, the National Food Assistance Agency, funded by the UNDP. So he's going to be our guest, telling us some of the functions of the NFAA. You know, the NFAA is that government institution that has been very, very dormant over the years. But it appears that the new administration, appointed by His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boaka, are doing all they can to reawaken, to reactivate that agency. It once operated at the premises of the Ministry of Public Works, but now with the appointments of new officers there or officials there, they have now secured their own office space, a very spacious and state-of-the-art structure for operations. So Bob Cato will be our guest here at 9 o'clock this morning via the telephone to tell us more and more about that. We will also ramble through the local dailies to let you know what's happening in the print media. But folks, the Spoon 107.5 Mega Daily Cash Splash is on your radio. Today we are giving out 5,000 and 3,000 Liberian dollars. All you've got to do is to dial the playing code is *799#. You select number 3 among the list of radio stations that appear. You pay the playing fee of 70 cents or 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, you automatically enter the draw and you stand a chance to win huge cash prizes here this morning. You stand a chance to win 5,000 or 3,000 Liberian dollars after playing with 70 cents or 100 Liberian dollars. But it's a rough draw, it's a lottery. So the more you play, the more your chances are to win. So you can begin playing at about now if you are not already begun playing. So again, the code is *799#. Select number 3 among the list of radio stations that appear and choose how to pay the playing fee. Is 70 cents or 100 Liberian dollars. Once you do that, you automatically enter the draw and you stand a chance to win 3,000 or 5,000. As we go on with the show, we will be placing call to some of our winners on the show to confirm receipt of their money. So, folks, that's it, and we like to go straight into it here this morning. Let's begin with the weather forecast. What is the outlook of the weather for today? So, according to our weather forecast, a couple of morning showers, otherwise partly sunny and very warm weather expected for the entire day. So, a couple of morning showers, which has probably happened in parts of Monrovia. Otherwise, partly sunny and very warm weather for the rest of the day. Precipitation is at 60%. Thunderstorm is 12%. Rainfall is 0.001 inch. All right, so we are expecting the partly sunny weather for the entire day, and it's going to be very, very warm according to our weather forecast, and precipitation is at 60%. Okay, so what's the latest exchange rates on the CBL's website? According to the latest exchange rates on the CBL's website, the buying rate is 180 Liberian dollars to 1 USD, while the selling rate is 181 Liberian dollars to 1 USD. So it seems that the rate is climbing, the rate is increasing. It was earlier on 178 for the buying rate, but it has increased to 180, and the selling rate has increased as well to 181 LD to 1 USD. But these are indicative rates that are based on results of daily surveys of the foreign exchange market in Monrovia and selected cities of Liberia. They are collected from the central bank, commercial banks, parallel market, and licensed forex bureau. They are not set by the central bank of Liberia. So there's the latest exchange rates there for you, folks. Let's quickly go into sports to retail. This release, this media release from the Liberia Football Association. So it says the Liberia Football Association expresses a strong condemnation of the regrettable incident that took place on December 14, 2024 at the SKD practice pitch after a first division league match between Shatta FC and FC Fasel. Reports indicate that a member of Painesville FC's medical staff, Mr. Avin Gono, sustained injuries following an altercation. As the governing body of the football in Liberia, the LFA is committed to fostering an environment of respect, fair play, and unity. Acts of violence undermine these values and have no place in the sport. The safety and well-being of players, officials, fans, and all stakeholders remain our utmost priority. The LFA will launch an investigation in collaboration with relevant authorities and all parties involved to establish the facts surrounding the incident. Based on the findings and the rules and regulations of our game, appropriate actions will be taken to ensure accountability and prevent further occurrences. We appeal to all clubs, players, and supporters to uphold the principles of sportsmanship and mutual respect that define the beautiful game. Football serves as a unifying force in our society, and it is our collective responsibility to maintain a safe and welcoming environment for everyone. The LFA remains committed to ensuring that football continues to be a source of pride, inspiration, and enjoyment for all Liberians. The media department of the Liberia Football Association signed this media release. So let's continue with more local sport news here. This one says LFA completes first on-site match of video analysis course. The Liberia Football Association successfully concluded a 2-day match video analysis course on Friday at its headquarters in Congo-town. The course brought together 27 coaches and aspiring match or video analysts to enhance their skills in analyzing match footage and optimizing team performance. Participants explored tactical breakdowns and player performance analysis, gaining valuable insights. Into how video can improve coaching, strategy, and decision making. Salu Famtahu, a CAF guest instructor and recently named NCCAA West Region Coach of the Year under the NCAA Division 2 Part West Conference, served as a lead facilitator for the course. LFA President Mustafa Raji expressed his gratitude to Salu for dedicating his time and resources to sharing his knowledge with Liberian coaches. He also urged participants to apply what they had learned. Okay, so let's bring you some developments from international sports. Last night was a very, very sad night for supporters and fans of Barcelona in Liberia and across the world, as they were held to a 1-0 defeat by Legans. Oh yeah, a goal that was scored in the 8th minute of the game was defended until the end of the game, thereby leading Barcelona to a 3-point loss. However, Barcelona still tops La Liga's table, but on equal points with their Atletico Madrid that defeated her game on yesterday 1-0. So let's bring you the top teams on La Liga table right now. So Barcelona is on top of the table with 38 points. Atletico Madrid on top points with Barcelona, 38. Real Madrid comes third with 37 points, but with an outstanding game. Athletic Club comes fourth with 33 points. And let's also take a look at the Premier League table. Where Liverpool remains in top spot or top position with 36 points, and Chelsea comes second with 34 points. Arsenal third with 30 points, and Nottingham Forest comes forward with 28 points. Man City saw a shocking defeat on yesterday after evening by Manchester United. You know, from the onset of the game, it looked like Man City would have won. But in the dire minutes of the game, Manchester United acquired a penalty shootout that was taken by Bruno Fernandes, who had missed a golden one-on-one opportunity prior to that penalty shootout. But he restored supporters, confidence in him by scoring that penalty. And later on, a beautiful goal was scored by the man of the match, thereby defeating Man City 2-1. Yeah, so folks, that does it for sports right now. And don't forget to keep on playing the Spoon 107.5 Mega Daily Cash Splash. It is on your radio this morning. The playing code. It seems that we have some problem with Noon Star Cell mobile money. Yeah, that's how it seems. It seems we have some problem with Noon Star Cell mobile money. That problem began last night. I kind of observed it. Yeah, so once it's restored, once everything is okay, we'll let you know. But there's a problem with No Star Cell mobile money this morning. So our listeners, you're going to find it difficult to play. So once that problem is once it is worked on, once it's sorted out, once everything is okay, we will let you know to begin playing the radio entertainment game. So as of yet, let's monitor the situation with a No Star Cell mobile money this morning. So let me say good morning to Testimony Ebony Doga. Welcome to Liberia, Testimony. Hope you have a wonderful stay here in Ella Bay. Welcome back home. This is the only country that we all can never ever be deported from. Ebony is one of our regular followers on the Today Show and Spoon TV at large. So welcome to Liberia and wish you a better stay. Those of you, entering Liberia or arriving in Liberia for the festive season, I'd like to welcome all of you. This is LIB. And gradually, we are getting there and we'll get there one day. So let's bring you some international development quickly from the BBC. This one says West African military states promise visa-free travel to rival bloc. Three West African states ruled by military leaders have announced visa-free travel and residency rights for citizens in the 15-member regional bloc ECOWAS, ahead of the trio leaving the group. The leaders of the states, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, said the visa and residency decision have been taken in the spirit of friendship and to strengthen centuries-old ties among African people. The trio planned to withdraw from ECOWAS in January after refusing the bloc's demand to restore democratic rule. ECOWAS leaders are meeting in Nigeria to discuss the decision with fears their withdrawal would be a major blow to regional unity and efforts to boost economic and security cooperation. At the opening of the summit, ECOWAS Commission head Omar Toure said their impending exit was disheartening, but he wanted to commend the ongoing mediation efforts. Senegal's president, Bassirou Faye, has spearheaded efforts to persuade the military juntas to remain in the bloc, but they have refused. After a ministerial level meeting on Friday in Niger's capital, Niamey, The three states said in a joint statement that their decision was irreversible. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger were founding members of ECOWAS in 1975. With their planned departure, the bloc will lose 76 million of its 446 million people and more than half its total geographical land area. This is the first split in ECOWAS, with the three breakaway states forming their own bloc called the Alliance of Sahel States. So Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger will be leaving the ECOWAS after they refuse the ECOWAS demand to return to a democratic rule. Those three countries are currently under military rule, and ECOWAS had since demanded them to return to democratic rule, but they have refused, and they have now decided to leave the ECOWAS. Officially, they're going to be leaving. They have set January 29th as the date to leave the ECOWAS, but the ECOWAS has given them 6 months in addition to rethink their decision. And in that process, mediation efforts will be underway. Controversial Nigerian pastor dismisses UK deportation claims. Just before going to that story, let's continue with one of the three departing countries from the ECOWAS. This one says Niger's military rulers suspend BBC broadcasts. Niger's military government has suspended the BBC for 3 months, accusing it of spreading fake news that could destabilize social peace and demoralize troops fighting jihadists. Niger's Minister of Communication, Rauliad Sidi Mohammed, announced the decision will take effect immediately. BBC programs, including in Hausa, the most spoken language in Niger, and French, are broadcast in the country through local radio partners, reaching 2.4 million people in the country this year, about 17% of the adult population. Although BBC radio programs have been suspended, the website is not blocked, and the radio can still be accessed on shortwave. Niger's government did not cite a specific broadcast for the suspension, but it follows BBC reports about jihadist attacks in the Telabari region on Tuesday, which are said to have killed 91 soldiers and nearly 50 civilians. The junta called these reports baseless assertions and a campaign of intoxication orchestrated by adversaries of the Nigerian people, aimed at undermining the morale of our troops and sowing division. Let's come to this development that is captioned "Controversial Nigerian Pastor Dismisses UK Deportation Claims." It says, high-profile Nigerian pastor Toby Adeboyega, has dismissed claims that he was about to be deported from the UK, where his church is facing allegations of financial misconduct. Pastor Adeboyega, leader of the Spark Nation Salvation Proclaimer Ministries Limited, now known as Nation Family, told the BBC there is no deportation order. Let me make that clear, he said. He said the court case was still an ongoing issue. All right, so folks, we stop here for the international developments. We'll take a quick break, and when we'll come back, we'll cut across Liberia to speak with our various correspondents to tell us what's unfolding in their various counties. So don't go away. Again, my name is Yekezi Zwobel. I hope to be joined here this morning by my colleagues Chokon Flaman and Dennis Nipsey. And at 9 o'clock, we play host to the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Agency, and that will be via the telephone. So don't go away. Let's take this quick break to be back with you in a jiffy.
So, folks, it's becoming very terrible here at the grounds of the capital building. As you can see, this fellow has been dangerously wounded, as you can see over here. And this is as a result of the altercation that is ongoing here. But this is Spoon, I'm Sylvester. To the place, we are still here. We are still here. Pepper spray has been released all over here. Pepper spray has been released all over here. It's been very intense.
Now, what I have gathered about this is that, first of all, this private jet is pick up and drop and go pick up and bring back. It's not a private jet that takes you, go sit there and wait for you. The cost, as I'm gathering, is anywhere between 40 to 45,000 US dollars.
From the
Listen, welcome back. You are listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5. We're also coming to you live on Fabric 101.1 Super, the Super TV, Fabric TV, and Spoon TV Live. So, welcome, and we will shortly be joining our correspondents to bring us up to speed with happenings in the various counties. We currently have on the line Victor Cooper. Victor is our Upper Nimba County correspondent. Let's quickly join him there to bring us up to speed with developments from Upper Nimba. Victor, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Yekezi. Good morning to our guys with you in studio. Good morning to the viewers, the listeners, and good morning to Liberia this morning.
Okay. How is Nimba County this morning?
Yeah, Nimba, we're doing better here. We're just moving on from my end. It's okay. We got this morning with this cloudy weather. We're doing well.
Where are you currently, Ganta?
Yeah, I'm currently in Uganda. Just arrived from something called last evening.
Okay. So tell us what's unfolding there in Nimba County.
Too many things unfolding in Nimba right now. Liberia is a place where several citizens are complaining from high economic system now. We complain that things are high everywhere. But then one financial institution in Nimba County right now has surprised its citizens. In terms of disbursement, is one of the financial club I refer to as the mentor to low financial club. Things are high everywhere. The club was able to disburse over 33 million yesterday to 8 members. It was a surprising thing that people left their very homes to go and witness how they get a huge amount of money while people were all around the place looking for LD. The club on yesterday disbursed 33 million to 8 members yesterday. So very much exciting and very much wonderful and astonished also how they got that money kept and how was it kept in the bank when things were bad. Had a few times where Liberians were everywhere in search of money to use and people were not getting money. How that money was kept to be disbursed yesterday, it was so astonishing in Nima County.
Okay, let's hear the next development.
And so, furthermore, it was interesting to know that one of the ODS model school in Nima County, the Central High School, recent on Saturday, graduated over 232 students from the 12th grade class, where the chief of office staff in the office of the vice president, Mr. Prince Bill, proceed for the vice president because we told him was to be there for to serve as the keynote speaker of the vice president, but then he was not able to come. So, and then the chief of officer, Prince, will proceed for the vice president, where the vice president gave scholarship to 40 students at the Nimba University here in Nimba County.
Okay, that's good news and congratulations to all of those students who graduated. But I understand that, the Ganta Cyclopedia Road pavement has begun. How true is that information?
I will not respond to that today. I will make my way around the and Flumba because there is a place that came to a standstill during the crisis of the election. Because during the period of the election from to Flumba directly was post up to. So from there again from Kanwin to go also post up to. So if it is it will be believable, then I will make my way there. It's just 30 minutes. I will make my way to confirm that. If it is true, then we'll confirm that to you directly. But as of now, I cannot speak to that until I get there and see them for myself. But on the overall, you can see it will injury to know that the kill were following of the motorcycle who was killed in the Kenlu community. We've told police have made some arrests of one car. So far, who has been allegedly involved, he has been taken to Saninkole for investigation. So deeply, we are going Saninkole and coming, struggling to get information from the police in Nimba County, but they are not feeling in as to how he got arrested and his name and so forth. But we are getting confirmed one that indeed there have been suspects so far been arrested by Liberia National Police.
How many suspects so far? One person, two persons?
One person directly, one person for now. The guy, his name is yet to be covered. I know him in person. The guy in question, we know him in person. This guy been some about he been our colleague on the media. Something
really?
Just surprising, yeah. But he been an announcer on the radio. So information reaching us, we've told that he was a very loud person, saying that Sakole who was killed the very evening. So information says he was the one who took the guy to Genelu. So he been arrested and taken to police headquarters in Saninkole. Yesterday we were there. Police were so busy they were not able to speak to us again today. trust me, we'll try again and call the county commander to get us more detail as to how really got involved with for that guy in question.
Thank you, Victor from up on Nima. I hope to join you tomorrow for more details of developments you reported today and other developments in Nimba.
It's our pleasure. Thank you. Christmas is coming closer too.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Compliments of the season.
Sure, same to you.
Yeah, okay. I'll be with you there shortly, anyways. But I'll call you. I'll call you. All right. So Victor Kupot is our correspondent there in Nima County. One of our correspondents in Nima County is based there in Gompa City, Nima County. So let's quickly talk to King Brown from Grand Bassa County, where we are told that the Senate Pro Tem has donated $1 million Liberian dollars to some citizens there in the county. Let's see if King Brown can fill us in with the details of this development from Grand Bassa County. Is 35 minutes flipping 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we speak to the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Program. He's Bob Carter. So we're trying to place a call to King Brown, and his phone is ringing and ringing and ringing. If we cannot get King, then of course we have to move on with the show, because we've got a lot on our plate to discuss this morning. Okay, so one more time, we place a call to King. If we can get him now, and then we have to move on. But if you just joined us, it's a reminder that you are listening to the Today Show. Yeah, you are listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and Super TV, Fabric TV, and Spoon TV. We're also live via www.spoonfmradio.com. So, folks, unfortunately, we aren't getting King Brown this morning, so we have to move on. Chokon is here. Once he gets into the stream yard, of course, you're gonna be hearing live on the show. But in the meantime, between time, folks, there are a lot of happenings in the country that we would like to delve into. Testimony. Yes, that's gonna be a good ride to Nimba. I'll actually be going there this weekend at the end of this week. Yeah, so if you could just hit me up, yes, then we can have conversation about that. All right. But folks, a lot of things happening in Liberia. On the 101 with the CEO last night, Musa Beleti appeared on that show, and he made a lot of allegations. And some of those allegations were responded to by the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. So it seems we're having some technical problem with our stream here this morning. Chukun is finding it difficult to come in, but in the meantime, we can take Chukun on. Behind the screen until that can be sorted out. But Chukun, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Yegesi, and compliment of the season to our many listeners and those who usually follow the show. It's another wonderful morning from Monrovia, and it's a time of giving and sharing, especially when the year is coming to an end. And it is a time also to be grateful for walking you, for the Lord to walk you through 12 months until the end. It had to be God. Yeah. So
yeah, sure.
It's a great time to be here, though we are bereaved from our church, but we still holding on,
Yeah. So it's always a pleasure to be here, and especially so at the verge of 2024. We are almost headed to a brand new year, 2025. So it's just by the grace of God that we have all come this far. Matter of fact, we are in better than those who, have died this year. There were too many deaths this year. I don't know whether you observed that. Too many deaths this year.
Especially
Many there's
people
the
that people
yeah,
that you interacted with.
yeah. And there's this. I consider that a superstition that usually that there are more deaths or catastrophes, during a leap year, and this year happens to be a leap year. And we have experienced, a lot of deaths of people. We know people in the public sector, in the community, friends and relatives, and all of that. But it's good to still be alive. All of you out there, and you can start making some resolutions now. I know at the end of every year you make resolutions, and some people will usually work assiduously to achieving what they have planned, but then some people will give up along the way, and out of that. But it's never too late. If you made a plan last year to be achieved this year, and until now it's not yet been achieved, it's never too late. You can make another plan. You can advance on that plan, and you just have to put in more time, more effort. You just have to be determined, persistent, and consistent in working towards whatever plan you want to achieve. And of course, that plan can be achieved for the next year. But Chokon, you were here you followed the Spoon Talk last night with the appearance of Musa Ability, and he made a lot of allegations. That there was a meeting, about negotiation to give an exit package to the speaker so that he resigns from his position. And that meeting was presided over by, the vice president, and all of that. The vice president was caught up on the show. He admitted to some of the things that Musa Ability said, but the vice president also said Musa Ability, who has all along been on the side of the speaker, on the minority bloc, a member of the minority bloc or the Kofa's bloc, has also been pushing to become speaker, himself. He's been pushing that if, if Kofa that he's siding with currently is removed speaker, he had gone to Nimba County, he had talked to the elders, the elders of Nimba County, to talk to Jeremiah Kung, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, to support his ability speakership, just in case Kofa is removed as speaker of the House of Representatives. The vice president disclosed that, there's been this rumor that, Ability is, working on a cover to become speaker. Some of us, we kind of doubted it because we couldn't verify the information. We couldn't confirm it. I mean, Ability himself couldn't, speak to that. But with the revelation coming from the vice president that speaker, if ability who has all along been siding with Kofa, has been pushing his own interest to become speaker. So that is, he's been playing double standard, acting like he's for Kofa, but at the same time undermining, Kofa. What do you make of this new new development in this whole saga of Capitol Hill?
A lot more, Yegesi. It says a lot, to the way, the form and manner in which the crisis of Capitol Hill is going. I wasn't shocked that many of you, you were surprised to have heard the vice president revealing that Musa Ability has been negotiating for the same position to people. We have heard that around the Capitol building and other areas. And I was not surprised when the vice president said Musa Ability had gone to Nimba County for the elders of the county to talk to the 7 lawmakers. You see, this is complete hypocrisy and a deceit from Belete. If you went to Nimba County to appeal to the people and the speaker in battle speaker J. Fonanti Kofa is just looking for 7 persons so that he can pull a quorum to conduct activities of the house, then why can't you appeal to the elders of Nimba County and the vice president and those stakeholders within the county so that the sons and daughters of Nimba who are in the lower house to join you to give the speaker a quorum so that the speaker can be able to conduct regular activities? But instead, you're stabbing the speaker by saying if he is removed, my people, you'll come and stand with me on the other side. Instead of you saying, you'll come, let's be on the side of the speaker together so we can have quorum to be able to conduct activities, because we believe that the side of the speaker is the side of the law. No. But Benedict did not do that. He was shocked when the vice president revealed that. And this is the fight. This is one of the main issues, trying to pull the embattled speaker down. Those who are in his camp, like legs of Benedict. Benedict has been encouraging the embattled speaker we've heard around the capital to not step down. That this man is on the side of the law. He should not step down. But this is the same man that deacon here and there around the speaker in showing that the people, the lawmakers from Nimba County, they stay away until he is removed. Then they can come over to support him. This is what Benedict wants. And it is just unfortunate for him that the vice president came out to reveal them. But again, you can see all around the world, those who are placed in political positions by their colleagues in parliament, in Congress, and prime ministers. I have heard and seen and read that several leaders around the world just resigned for a lot of common causes. For example, if you follow the Brexit deal from Great Britain, David Kim, he was the first to resign when Congress got ready, and he said that this was a path. He did not believe that Great Britain should leave the European Union. And the people said, but then if you believe that, you got to step aside. You have to step aside or you stay on. We won it. And he stepped aside. It went on to Boris Johnson after the COVID-19 when there was a noise that he sanctioned a party, a merrymaking party. Boris Johnson resigned as prime minister, and it's today it is clear the history there that he resigned because of this. This is just a matter of integrity in the outside world, those who serve. I'm not saying the embattled speaker should resign. No, it is his right. But in Africa here, when people are given position, they feel that those position were part of their DNA when they were born. So they see no need to relinquish the position. And at the end, in Africa, this is why we have unconstitutional removal of presidents, of head of states, of prime ministers, and all of that. When you see things that are unusual happening in a position that you serve in, and the state has recognized another person, it is prudent enough that everyone, the entire country knows that Kofa, in battle speaker, the proceeding against him, it is more political than legal. Because the legal people have said, and we have read, and all of that. But now the political side, you are not winning, and you don't have the number in your favor. People who are in your camp, They are undermining you. Better than worrying and saying 7 lawmakers for Nima to join him when you are removed. They should join. Why can't he say the 7 lawmakers will join the speaker so the speaker can get quorum and conduct activities? But when the speaker is ousted, when he is removed, then the elders of Nima should talk to those people to come over to vote for him. Better, sorry for you, man.
Okay. All right. So also regarding an exit package that was allegedly discussed during that meeting, where the justice minister and other hierarchies of the Unity Party and of the government attended and was presided over by the vice president. It was discussed that according to ability, it was in fact the vice president, it was discussed that an exit package be given to the embattled speaker for Nanti Kofa to leave the position. But for Nanti, the embattled speaker has responded to that through a social media page, and he said this. I'm going to read it as he wrote. He says, "Lies, twisted lies, and distortions." She said, "I listened to the distorted and inaccurate comments made by Vice President Cohn on Spoon TV a few minutes ago. At no time did I negotiate with the vice president for the president to, with the vice president, nor the president to resign." So I read this again. It says, "At no time did I negotiate with the vice president nor the president to resign. My position is and has always been, let's return to legislative normacy by, number one, removing the illegal suspensions, number two, restoring the rightful committee heads, number three, returning to chambers and discussing all matters, including their complaints in section." The VP asked for white ballot for Richard Cohen, passage of the budget, and discussion of committing after a new speaker. I rejected all that. We came to no agreement, and the next day, the Minister of Justice gave the opinion on the court ruling, which was written for him. But the most telling thing is that the vice president's appearance and inappropriate comments on a radio talk show exposed his hand as the principal mastermind of the whole unconstitutional saga. I remain firm on the side of the law. The executive can continue to ignore the rule of law, but I will not. Thanks. So he posted this a few hours ago, 8 hours ago, following the appearance of Musa Belete and a call-in or telephone appearance of the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. So he has denied allegations that there was negotiation in this meeting, that they gave him an exit package, so that he can resign the speakership.
But you can see, but the embattled speaker listened to his own supporter, Mr. Belete, when Representative Belete recounted what the vice president said. He did mention that there was a plan to have to the 3 counts stated by the vice president. Even if you listen to the chairman of the majority black Samuel Koga on Capitol Hill, he said that there was 3 recommendations that evolved from the meeting. Recommendations. One of the recommendations was for the embattled speaker to go and preside and officially resign and turn over the gavel to now the majority speaker, Richard Coon. And Coca went on to say it was the only count that the vehemently rejected, that they cannot allow the speaker, the embattled speaker, to go and resign in the joint chambers because they believe that they are removing and he's no longer a speaker. Any attempt by the majority bloc to accept for him to go and preside and resign, it means that he's still the legitimate speaker of the House of Representatives. Based on that, they rejected that particular count of the three counts, recommended from the meeting. So if you see if you look, if you just watch the trend of the information corroborating from the chairman to Musa Bedete to the vice president. Maybe the only person is the embattled speaker who is saying otherwise.
Okay, Dennis, welcome to the show. You've been following us. Firstly, how was your weekend?
My weekend has been busy. Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's good to be back on the Monday edition, and my weekend has been busy, very busy, but it's good to be back.
Okay.
What you were doing?
A lot, and my church is having 21 days revival, so throughout the week we've been there. The weekend, go to church on Sunday, in the evening go back to the church for the revival. You are invited, you and Yekezi. I heard that you bereaved, so you have to go pray for your the bereavement.
Yeah, but Choco, since the puppy died, you been to church.
Yeah, I went there, but
I mean, they can't lie about God business.
No,
I
passed at the church.
No man, you ever cry before you bereave?
I passed at the church, but when I regular Sunday.
You passed there.
Yeah, I passed there.
All right.
Normally, when the papi was alive, we could go there Friday prayer.
So that for the papi busy, you to go to church.
Shogun is very interesting.
You know, some people in CDC for job we have been majority 98%, and that's how you get ruled out.
Okay, yeah, but Dennis, let's hear you on this whole incident popping up from last night's interview on the 101 with the CEO, the road of Musa ability. I believe you've been following the discussion.
I follow the discussion on last evening. The issue with like Chokon said, there have been rumors and speculations about the Musa ability, plan or intent, with the speakership position. But the name Musa ability over time, we saw what happened during the Cummings, quest to become president of the Republic of Liberia. We saw how he was misguided by I would say that by Musa ability. Musa ability, for me, he did not play a pivotal role, in terms of ensuring that though Liberians had their own choice, but if you are supporting someone, you have to put your all, But we saw that Alexander Cummings could not, get an amount of votes, that we saw coming from the Musa ability side, Nema counting, all of that. So he has always been in his own interest. That's what I would say. And for Speaker Fonati Kofa, the battle speaker, the thing about politics is so deep that, you sometimes, like people will say, there's no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. So you don't engage the process with the mindset that the person perhaps will support you, especially where you all are all politicians. Yeah, you have to leave room for that, to know that yes, indeed, the speaker, someone will be in a position that you are in, and that shows the fact that with the disclosure, from the vice president, it shows that the likes of Musa ability has not been sincere with, Funanti Kofa in his own quest of supporting him. And perhaps, he was surprised for the vice president to have said that. And with all that, as it relates to the agreement and, dialogue and all of that, yes, at this point, like the battle speaker who said he's resolved, in terms of ensuring that the law is the law. But the issue here is at times when this issue about Liberia, people will always say you have to let go, you are not the only person, you have to let go for peace sake. And at this point in time, if it is important to fight, but if the fight is leading, nowhere, it's important to also take some decisions that will safeguard the process, not to degenerate into other things that people who want to see in the country, especially as the year is fast, ending, and then we have just days to 2025 with the issue of SONA and all of that. So it is important that the speaker, whosoever advising him, he see the embattled speaker see reason to take the rightful decision, because right now one of those who he felt was supporting him, and that person, I think he said he went with the embattled speaker at the meeting. At the meeting, right? And it's someone, Musa Belete is someone who now is opting for the position. So he has to be wise and take all the rightful decision that will not, ruin him politically, because there are others who will be around. They will be giving the advice and acting like, yeah, this is what you should do. But they know by you doing this will ruin your political quest and will endanger maybe future endeavors. So yes, you can see a true one. That's how I like to read it.
Yes, of course. And as you may know, Musa Belete was interested in the senator seat once upon a time. And, currently, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia is the political godfather following the death of Prince Yami Johnson. I think he's obviously he's going to replace Prince Johnson there in Nima County. The vice president.
Okay, the vice president.
Vice president, Jeremiah Kwan.
Okay.
So forced contesting for political positions will want the vice president's support, of course, obviously, in Nima County. In Yaro State, we have another vacant position. With the kind of relationship between Jeremiah Kwan and the current vice president and everything, well, I'm not saying the relationship is tense, but with the action of Musa Belete right now, I think folks are going to be very skeptical about him. Folks are going to be doubtful about him. He's not that person who's going to be, trusted anymore, because he's this kind of person who always want to play double standard, pretends as though he's in your interest, he's for you, but on the other side, he's pushing his own interests. He's undermining you. It's just like the rat that can be biting you at the same time blowing the air. I think that's the kind of action that
it's a lawnmower rat.
That's it. Yeah, the lawnmower rat. It can be 3 or 4. It can be 3 or 4. It's now blowing it.
You enjoy it,
yeah. But we saw what's the lawmaker from Maryland County during the election when he held the campaign that Kumi should run alongside now President Joseph Walker. John Baloo. He ran that campaign, with all of his efforts to ensure that Cummins can come over and serve as a running mate. Who discouraged Cummins? We saw Musa Belete saying that was disrespect, to Alexander Cummins. To have him run as vice president. And at the end of the day, where did it land on Cummins? At the 1.1%.
They demoted the man from 7%, 7th grade all the way to 1st grade.
Exactly. And at that time, everyone was like, this would be a very good pick, because you have, the UP and what's their party again? ANC. Together, you have that, overwhelming support that they needed to have defeated the former president back then. But Musa Belete stepped in and said, that's disrespect. And we're saying that he won his own county, he won his district seat, with Cummins being demoted at a very minute, position in the election. So politicians, they are just like that.
Especially Musa Hassan Berete. When you hear the Musa Hassan Berete, I don't know to what extent that the ANC trusted Berete so much, because this is the same Berete who said that he will resign if he wins as a lawmaker,
And the ANC does not.
ANC does not win. And the other day, when we confronted him, he said that was just an election, and the election is over. He's moving forward now, and he's still holding on the position, and people are still trusting Musa Hassan Berete. But again, like I said, Yegesin, it is hard time that the embattled speaker begin to recollect. When you see the state, the government of Liberia politically doing business with the people that you believe that they are unconstitutional, they are, taking their function up to themselves, and people are doing business with them. Can you imagine this contrast? There was a letter from the office of the president addressing Richard Kung as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Do you think the executive can undo all of those? The executive will not. So, Mr. Speaker, you have to think about this sometime. We know that it is high. There are a lot of people hanging on you. And
You mean the letter that came from the president that was read on the floor?
Yeah,
I think it carried a presiding officer.
it said a speaker.
Okay.
Aside from that, there are many entities that are addressing, Richard Kuna as Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Of course. Those are all members of the executive, and the executive, said that
They recognized the man. The Liberian Senate said that when the people conclude the budget, they will concur. They will concur with the majority bloc.
Yeah.
So this is why I was saying, give you some analogy about the resignation of great leaders in history, especially when you've been pinned down. I mentioned about David Cameron. Cameron resigned in 2016 when the parliament decided that they are going to quit the European Union, and he saw that as a blow to him as a leader, Prime Minister of Great Britain. He stepped aside.
So,
and the war was short.
this thing,
Now, a lot of people you can do. I don't know how to put it this morning.
This
but
is something
I
that we need to go about carefully. Yes, I mean, now I don't want to say that the country is being held in hostage currently because of the saga, because for the fact that the executive has said that it will do business with the majority bloc, and the Liberian Senate has said the same thing. The budget can pass very easily. So I don't think that the country is being held hostage. What I think is there's a political crisis now at the legislature.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right. So it's two things. Is either upholding the rule of law or sweeping or kicking the rule of law, under the carpet. So that's two things. Yes, there are folks, on the other side, demanding and pressuring and calling on Fonati Kopa to resign. That in order to get this whole thing dusted up, in order to get this whole thing settled, he needs to resign. But again, you have the law on the other hand. If Fonati Kopa resigns, that going to be some legal luminary thing is going to be undermining the rule of law. Is going to be a disrespect or violation of the Constitution, and the Constitution is going to be like a precedent, wherein anybody will just wake up, like what the majority bloc did. Once they can be able to get a resolution, they go in another chamber, maybe the next time when you have the legislature, maybe they will go to a hotel. They say they are majority bloc, they have a section, in some kind of hotel, and tomorrow will be alluding or referencing similar incidents that their action, is legal, it has happened, and blah 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 blah. So this is something to worry about very carefully. For me, I will support, the legal action that's been, yeah, for that political part, that they are going to file a lawsuit against Richard Kuhn, for impersonation as speaker, because they believe that from the Supreme Court interpretation of the Constitution the other day, it still makes Fonantik Kofa the legal speaker of the House of Representatives. So Fonantik Kofa, being elected by the majority bloc, and preferring himself out there as a speaker is an impersonation, and so they're going to file laws. So let's get, for me, I support how this thing will be settled, and I think the legal means will be the best way to settle this thing. Let's see how it plays out, and at the end of the day, I hope the law, the organic law of the country can win.
Yes, Yekezi, we all support, the rule of law, which is very cardinal to the development of the country and as far as democracy is concerned. But also, at this point, like Chokon was saying, also asking, it is important to also think, Yekezi and Chokon, at this point, history will judge you, history will remember you, to know that there was a speaker who was unlawfully, unconstitutionally removed from his position at a point in time. And the fight, yes, you can be fighting for the right thing. It is good. Everyone, those who believe in the rule of law know very well that you are on the right trajectory, but it is important as well, to ensure that you also find the issue about your own personal peace, your own personal issues in terms of how you deal with these things, because it comes with a lot of issues. You have to go to court. That's resources. That's time consuming, where you have other things to cater for. And one thing now you should know also as well with the entire issue with the speakership, this almost like a ceremonial, position, like I would say, point, it's not removing your representative position from you.
Not at all.
And at this point, your constituent depends on you to ensure that there's development, ongoing in that area, in your county as well. So if you continue with the pursuit of fight for this matter that was carried to the court, and the court put it out, send you back, to go solve your own problem. And at the end of the day, you want to take on another legal. I know he's a lawyer, and lawyers, they don't shy away from court proceeding because they know, yes, that's the rightful step. But they also take into consideration time. History will remember that this speaker for Nati Kofa was unconstitutionally removed for his power.
And that's what he does.
And when was that done? That was done under the regime of the Bwaka administration, right?
Exactly.
And we saw how the late Councillor Bronskin also fought for his right during the election. All of these things happen. At the end of the day,
Exactly.
it was time consuming, though the rule of law was, was exercised, but at the end of the day, it still went on with the same thing. So it is good that the embattled speaker is fighting, but at some point in time, it's important to know when to disengage and fight, and when to say, give a nice speech, and people will remember you for that. They will know that, yes, indeed, you fight. And at this point in time, you being a speaker, you being perhaps senior lawmaker to other junior lawmakers, they have started disrespecting you as well. So you take into consideration all of those factors. There are people who will not say something to you because of this political fight. they are now saying some things to you that is not, they won't say at any point in time. So it is important as well, while we think about, the rule of law and all of those things, it is important to know that there's some time that you need to disengage and know that, yes, I have a lot of things to do this position. Even if I wasn't in the position, another person would have been in this position. So since this thing is like this and the rule of law, they refuse as a government to ensure the rule of law, it is important that, I do what is right for me at this point in time.
Well, and yeah, I'll, I kind of agree with you a little bit. I think the rule of law should always be upheld. I think because it is because of the rule of law that the rule of law controls our actions. It governs all of us, especially the Constitution, which is the organic law of the land. Imagine a country without a constitution, a country without a law, a lawless country. Imagine what happens. It's going to be like the survival of the fittest. All right? So the Constitution is there to supervise our actions. So if somebody feels offended or somebody feels that his right is being violated, and because maybe of the big hands in it, because maybe there may be some manipulation, and you say that the person should give up on their right or should not test the legal process because of the situation, because maybe if they do so, they will not. Maybe you have a conviction that they will not win because politics is going to interplay and all of that. For me, I just think the Constitution should always be tested. The court should always be tested. I don't care what the situation is. Once you feel offended, once you feel as an individual that your constitutional right is being violated, I think you go to the court. Not because, I know self-peace and everything for that. I mean, it's level of the person's discretion. Whether in this process, they don't want to go into it because of their own self-peace and, peace of mind and all of that. That one that the person personal decision to take. But if the person feels that they want to continue fighting for that, right? I think the opportunity must be given to the person and they must go ahead. But I think the Constitution should always be respected, and we must we must always test this process. We shouldn't always, give up in the middle of the way during this kind of situation because we feel maybe there are big hands and the law or the court is not going to side with me and all of that. So I think the speaker needs to continue his legal proceedings until at the point when he realizes that he can no longer continue. Well, if you want to back up, I mean, that's a decision that is left with him. But I support him continuously testing the court system of the country.
You can see, I don't think Dennis was trying to insinuate that the speaker, should leave the law and just step aside. I think it is based on what's happening around him, the situation now with the country. He ran to the higher court in the land. The court, quote unquote, favored him according to him. And the entire public, if you read the argument of the lawyers before the judgment, they said clearly, they recognized at one point the judge asked currently majority bloc, who is the speaker of Liberia. They pointed out that it was Funanti Kofa. Everyone knows that. But now this is more like a political issue that is robbing away his integrity, in the sense that many of those things that he did not do.
I don't understand what you say is robbing away his integrity.
But this is where I'm coming in. When you were running with the allegation that Funanti Kofa is an alleged criminal. a wrongful proceeding, overstating your budget, putting people on committee, getting kickback, getting this, getting that. These are not things you investigated, and the documents are available in phonetic cover. Guilty of he was never investigated as provided by their own law. As provided by their own law, that the speaker should be investigated. They should bring the matter in plenary, and the speaker should recuse. Wait, I come in. The speaker should recuse himself. Someone else should preside over the issue, and they should vote based on that investigation. They should vote on each count. All right. Like if you say wrongful proceeding, how many lawmakers believe that the speaker proceeded wrongfully? They will vote on that particular count. How many people believe that the speaker, is involved into conflict of interest? They will vote on that party, but nothing was done.
Okay.
Absolutely. But they are running with this thing that the speaker is corrupt. The speaker is running the horse in his own interest and all of that. And this is the public perception now.
Because we have a guest via the telephone. Hopefully we'll be playing host now to him at 9:30. Earlier should have been 9 o'clock. But it's going to be at 9:30 now. He's Bob Cato. Bob Cato is the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Agency in Liberia. So let's go to the lines and take a few calls by 9:30. We, play host to Bob Cato. So call us on 0777 771 077 771 075 0555 101075. Call us on these numbers and have you say, what do you think about our discussion? Yeah, we are just giving our own perspectives about what's going on up Capitol Hill. Okay, so our orange line is down. So better still call us on 0770 417724, 0770 417724, or 0555 101075. Call and have to say this morning you are listening to the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, and our various social media handles. Let's talk to this person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Jay Abadito. I do join you from Granville County.
Okay, how is Granville County this morning?
Oh, that's great. Granville is okay.
Okay, let's hear you.
Anyway, thank you so much for the kind word, and I want to say thank you to the studio again. And I want to say money to the Liberian people at large.
No guess here. We are presenters.
Oh, presenter. Okay, so thank you to everyone you there. And I definitely quickly want to make my input on the issue of the saga at the House of Legislature. You know what happened is that today the government has told Poverty the Rescue Mission has a own plan, which is the Women Parker has a own plan to develop the country. But our problem now is lies with the House of Representatives. Our people need to try hard to see how best to be able to resolve that issue. What is happening in Liberia is a complete shame. How can this be someone who was duly elected and a group of people put themselves aside without even, as you were saying, going through the due process or voting on all the counts, or they may recusing itself, and we just sit down and say, look, we have our own election, and they are running around with the issues. No, that particular issue is completely out of the way. Our people have to revert to the law and go back to Michimo and be able to do the investigation. What I really believe in is that Speaker man likely, even if he wins the case, or the win he man likely resign willingly. To be frank, let me be sure to tell you, what we do now, it just remain a day. It means that there will be a cure for next generation. So there are people be able to look at the issue.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's talk to another person. Good morning, Yadima. Where you join us from?
Good morning, Yagazin.
Good morning, let's hear you.
Let me say good morning to Soko and my beautiful sister, Mr. Denny. No, like I said, sister before me, maybe.
Go ahead. Okay, I understand. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the chairman for the bank about the Bamuma, Abu Wala, calling on Bamuma.
Okay, go ahead.
Before I came out, I please, I always go on the station, then go again, I call on the station. Thank God for the people, I can't do every for the rest. You have all the support and the self. Anything comes, you want that to distribute. That's another Bamuma, we are the one who my head. So we are here, we lost it everything here. We're not part of it for 77. I've already been the last time. Everything for 77, we're not part of it. Their own struggle here, their own loss. So I'm going to make it. So the issue is politics. And for the rest, Musa benefit everything when you go for itself. My brother, you know, come here. When the line is so foolish, where I don't have foolish. Musa benefit what is against the ancient and interpretation go to and market women in general money. The second is all the people that dance out to go to the contingent. That was really the register. We have to go, we need to put that percent. Today, again, Jeff, money is said, or coming to the other one, long run, they want to speak up. One thing like the line and the book of the other 15 minutes. One more, so for me, I want to go down and have it down. Going ahead, but we have very something to the quality. And for him, not already cooking now. Let's have
Thank you.
Yeah, we're not going to
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. 0777771. Sorry, 0770 417724 0555101075. Let's talk to this person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Johnny Gosson Boakat, calling for Johnsonville.
Fanny, go ahead.
Yeah, the removal of the speaker, this is the reason why I'm saying standing memorial, that the removal of the speaker is unconstitutional. Before the process.
Your line is breaking up.
Hello, are you getting me?
Yeah, go ahead now.
I'm saying that the removal of the speaker is unconstitutional. And this is the thing that we are saying in memorial, that the speaker should have been given a due process. But since then, and we have accused the executive branch that they are playing the mastermind of this illegal removal of the speaker. And you have seen it clear. Because as I learned that the security that have been assigned from the speaker, they have been removed. So you see that? So the train that the train that we are taking is the bad proceeding. But tomorrow we have young generation that's coming up that will be in leadership tomorrow. If care not taking, will be going another direction.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's hear another person. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
Yeah, good morning. I guess it is Cyrus Cholope calling from behind Lone Star.
Cyrus, let's hear you.
Yeah, I keep hearing people talking about the majority bloc was not willing to give the battle speaker due process. The poster they wrote the memo and 10 times he never appears. So how would they give him due process when he not appear? And the year how they call it, how their work go on if they may not appear? So they try giving it due process, but you are not willing to appear.
Yeah,
and they put it on
so you expect that the invited speaker would have gone to sit before the majority.
Illegitimate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks for calling. Let's talk on our president. Good morning, your name and where you join us from?
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Hi to the panelists. I would like to say this. The speaker will not resign because he has to be given due process. If he's not given due process, then it's wrong. We want Liberia to set up in the right form. We had the people from LTA, they were removed from training position and everybody laughed about it. This is the speaker's time. And if we allow this to flow away, another thing will happen. And I tell you, if the rule of law is destroyed in this country, we don't have a country again. We don't have a country. That's what I'm saying. I listened to the last caller talking about the speaker of the due process. So you stand before an illegitimate group and then you say you have to process. You already saw that the people are not doing anything right. They protested. They are on the protest ground. And they are calling you to come and stand before them. Is it right? We need to think in this country. And I heard somebody saying all the hello badu, the speaker just left aside. Is that right to think about why why don't we talk to the executive and the 43 men to step aside? Yes, well, we young people, we think out, and you people, the younger ones, are the people that are going to carry this country, and you are thinking the speakers, that man doesn't want the job again. He just want to be honorably set out. They should come back to the chamber. There's some people talking he should step aside. Are you not asking the executive why are they doing this? Are you not asking the 43 men why should they gather in the protest form like a speaker at the protest ground? The protest there. They left the chambers and went outside on protest. We can't stay there, and on the protest ground, you got another speaker. Is that right? And I hear young people talking. It's shame to like draw.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to another person here. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Wo G. calling for Christian number 4 Montreal County.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I called to appeal to my former chairman of Liberty Party in person of Honorable Funati Kofa to see reason to join the majority and to do like going forward because
join the majority block as well as a mayor representative or as speaker.
Yes, as a house of representative to do like going forward. Because leadership is not a title, but it's a function. You know when to fight, and when to stop fighting.
Okay. So you think you should stop fighting by this time?
Yeah, if you stop the fight, it's going to do our work.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Henry Giddings calling you from Sokmini.
Giddings, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for the discussion on ground. But what I'm afraid of is Funali Kova issue. I strongly believe that Funali is not fighting for himself. He's fighting for the young generation to come. So what will happen today if they're saying we should get respect the rule of law, and some of us are actually doing law in school. So meaning our going to school will be baseless or senseless. So I think the way that Funati is taking, though other people will think somehow, but that's the right way. And I also pray that those majority black will reason to come back and join Funati. If even they want to remove him, let them give him a due process. Because they already get 43, I don't know for this somebody and make it 49. They put that more rich.
All right.
So the issue here now, we are kind of appealing to them. They should not take our constitution to be a dumper or a trash can where you can get anything with trash can.
Thank you.
They shouldn't trash our constitution, please.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to another person. Good morning. Your name and where you join us from. You are our last caller.
Yeah, this is Prince Mainkley calling you from GSA Road.
Prince, go ahead.
Yeah, brother. For me, I suggest that
is this the move, Chairman?
Fonati Kofa shouldn't resign. Because there is a law that Fonati Kofa is trying to set the precedent. If Fonati Kofa resigns, the next person to Unity Party people will try to fight the person. That's the rule of law the man is going by. If they get a man due process, the man will resign. So let them get a man due process. All a group of people not just phone and say, yeah, we are lawmakers. Let them men step down. Then you find your own speaker. It's wrong. So this thing will happen to tomorrow. Other people group themselves. They say, okay, the person should stand up. Other people will group themselves tomorrow. Say, okay, the other ministry want it or minister. Students will come out and group themselves and say, we want the person to be our the principal. And then at the end of the day, we'll bye-bye because it happened to Fonati Kofa, not because it happened to Eddie Snow or Eddie Tyler. Maybe what happened to Kofa. Okay. It's the rule of law this man want to follow.
Thank you.
He shouldn't resign.
Thank you. Are you the chairman of MOVE?
Huh?
Is this MOVE chairman?
No, I'm not the chairman.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Yeah, so that's it, folks. We will take a very short break. When we come back, we will speak to the Deputy Director for Administration via the telephone of the National Food Assistance Agency. That agency has been an agency very dormant over the years. Like NAFA, prior to the taking over of Emma Glasgow at NAFA, nobody knew about NAFA. But right now, since her takeover, I think she's done a lot there, to make a lot of Liberians to know about NAFA. And so the NFAA, or the National Food Assistance agency has been dormant over the years, but it appears that the appointments made by President Bouaka at that agency is in a right direction, and those appointed are trying to, bring that entity to the spotlight. So we'll be speaking to the Deputy Director for Administration, Bob Cato, as soon as we come back. Let's take this break to be back.
Was a gross constitutional oversight because, as it stands, the majority bloc won. That's how.
Wait, please.
There's no sin, there's no blinking about it. My mom used to tell me that the truth is naked, and so everybody is afraid of the truth. For example, when the Supreme Court said that any sitting that is not done consistent with Article 33 and 40 and 49 is ultra-viral, that was not the issue before the court. The court then should have crowned it and said, therefore, the setting that so is ultra-viral. So the issue was not, for example, you go to the court for relief, and then the court, instead of getting the relief, the court only say that if anybody steals, it's a crime, but you carry a case, you say somebody stole my.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Today Show right here on Spoon 107.5 megahertz. It's 36 minutes on the flip side of 9 o'clock. So, like we told you earlier, we're going to be playing host to Mr. Bob Cato. He's the Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Program. So, Mr. Cato, we trying to place a call to him right now. To discuss matters relative to that government institution that has been kind of dormant over the years. So Bob Cato is on the line. Mr. Cato, good morning and welcome to the Today Show, the Spoon Morning Show on Spoon FM, Fabric, and via our various social media platforms.
Good morning, Yegas, and good morning to all of your colleagues in studio with you. It's a pleasure to appear on your program this morning. By the way, this is my first time on the Spoon FM.
Okay.
On end of the network station. So it's a pleasure this morning.
Okay, it's good having you on. How is the National Food Assistance Agency?
The National Food Assistance Agency is striving. We are trying to revive it, thanks to the face of, first of all, thanks to His Excellency Ambassador Bouaka, who sent us here through his appointment power and Many thanks also to our Director General, Honorable Bwaka A.M. Salif, whose faith we have been using to get us our way through, to get things done. His faith is actually a master key that opens every door. And so, by the grace of God, we are working together as a team to revive the entity, to rebrand and reposition as mandated by the President through Executive on 129.
Okay, now let's firstly get to know more about this agency of government, because not much is known out there about this government institution. You want to just tell us the mandate of this institution and its mission?
Yeah, definitely. The National Food Assistance Agency, as the name have is an entity of government that is supposed to be responsible, or that is responsible to coordinate all food assistance programs across Liberia during and after emergency situation. So food assistance generally is supposed to be done by this entity. So in a true sense, we are supposed to be like the WFP. The World Food Program, as their role is to the United Nations, so shall our role be to the government of Liberia. So whether it's during disaster situation, it's during the period of feeding prisoners or inmates, school feeding programs, feedings of malnourished children, every form of food assistance in this country should be supervised and coordinated by us, should be regulated by us.
So
that has not been the case over the period of time because of the domestic. It was like that in the 70s, during the time where people were in school, I think up to the 90s, in fact, from the records we had. Okay, so the key food that people were eating in school those days was the National Food Assistance Agency with donor partners and other international organizations that were carrying out such food aid, but it was being, coordinated by the National Food Assistance Agency then. But after the war, the entity has suffered dormancy until 2019 when COVID came, and the former President George Manoia repositioned the entity to be able to take charge of the stimulus package along with WFP. And thereafter, the entity was involved with the school feeding program that came from the Chinese aid. It was at that point a little was heard about the National Food Assistance Agency after the war. But since it's been an entity in existence, people have been working here, but they have not been at their full potential to take charge of all food assistance across Liberia. And that is exactly what the leadership headed by Honorable Bwaka A.M. Salif is have a sleepless night to ensure that it happened. That whether it is disaster situation, whether it is epidemic or epidemic, we should be one of the first responders. Because when people house burn, when somebody flooding take over, any form of emergency, one of the major things that people will look up to is food assistance. Okay, your heart breaks down while you're thinking about something else. The children will not be hungry, and you leave them to go look for something to put in the house. So usually, food assistance is one of the first response that people carry to this situation.
Okay,
and that should be actually coordinated by the National Food Assistance.
Okay,
during health epidemic, that the Ministry of Health and Field will be involved. So shall we also be involved as the first responder in terms of food assistance?
Okay, yeah. So my colleague Chokon has a question for you.
So what makes you different from the National Disaster Management Agency when, of course, when you go into intervene in terms of emergency, providing relief items, the same mandate the National Disaster Agency has it?
Yeah. So somebody, my colleague Dennis wants to buttress Chokon's question.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just to budget the question, I will ask whether the National Disaster Agency Management has been usurping your function.
Well, no, we can't say a particular entity has been usurping our function, Denise. What has happened is the dormancy of the entity. Look, when you are not available to do your work, Denise, people will do it for you. The work must go on. Okay? So if there's a particular, call that is, take from this space to that space, and you are not there to do it. For example, where you are, if there's a janitor that's supposed to clean your office and the janitor did not come to work, will you leave your office dirty? So yes, people have been doing the work. And in response to Chokon question, Chokon, the National Disaster Management Agency, coordinates all disaster management activities. What they do is they use a different entity. There's a whole management, system that is put in place. So, for example, if there's a disaster situation that involves fire outbreak, National Disaster Agency cannot go there without a fire service. When there is a health emergency, you cannot do it without the Ministry of Health and Enfield, like I mentioned earlier. When there is a flooded and maybe something like Mostar or Mosla or whatever, you can't do without the Ministry of Public Works. You can't do without the Armed Forces of Liberia. So what the National Disaster Management Agency does.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So we lost Mr. Kato. So let's see if we can reconnect with him. But since Bob Cato, Deputy Director for Administration at the National Food Assistance Program. So let's see if we can reconnect with him this morning on the show. Okay. Mr. Kato, welcome back.
Yeah. So that's how it works. For example, in the United Nations setting, you will realize that when there's a refugee situation, the UNHCR, responsible for refugee at the level of the United Nations, will be there. You also see the WFP, the World Food Program. As much as the people will be ensuring the welfare of the refugee, repatriation and settlement and everything else, the WFP will be in there to be able to take care of the food assistance. Okay, so that's how it works. We are just a single institution that should be part of the first responder in terms of disaster situation. But the National Disaster Management Agency is the one who comes with the direction as to what each entity is supposed to be doing. They themselves are not going to be the one giving medical supply, giving food assistance and all of that, but they are the one who manage the disaster preparedness, prevention, and recovery and everything else. Okay. But they do it along with other institutions. Okay. And we are one of those institutions, particularly with food assistance.
Okay. Now, you've taken over a dormant agency, an agency that much has not been heard about over the years. As a matter of fact, this agency operated before at the column at the Ministry of Public Works, but then on Saturday we saw that there was a turnover ceremony of a new, spacious, and state-of-the-art office space to this entity. How did this come about?
Well, like we said, we want to give the praise again to our Director General, Waka A.M. Salih. First, some of us didn't see it as saw it. When we took over, there was a 2-room office at the Ministry of Public Works. 3 of us, appointed officials, were seated on one table. I don't call it deck. The 3 of us operated on a single table in a room. We just sit opposite each other. No privacy, no conducive environment for work and all of that. And so then he felt that, look, we cannot keep in this place and be complacent. And so we started reaching out to stakeholders. I don't know whether he has used 50% of his salary since we came here, but everything we did to reach it far has come from our salary, our earning, because we took over an entity with one budget line. compensation of staff. And even at that, all of our staff at the entity when we took over were making an amount of $150 gross. You controller or you HR or you janitor or you security or whoever, every single person for the staff we met here from up down, except for the presidential appointees, make the amount of $150. Now $1 liberty for goods and service or whatever. So we started moving using our own salary and everything else, and by the grace of God, we were able to secure an office space. Then we started writing, following up, and we were able to convince the UNDP, to see that indeed the team that have come is a team that they can work with, a team led by Bwaka Salif. And of course, they were able to get us started. So yes, we took over a domain entity, but where we are, everything else we are using is brand new. The chairs, and we're in my office, everything we're using. And we did not stop there. We started engaging all stakeholders, especially in government entity. So the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, we engaged repeatedly from Honorable Bwaka Kamaratam to Honorable Anthony Myers, up to the Minister Kafuan. When he came, we were one of the first group that met him and make our case. And by the grace of God, they were able to understand some of the issues we raised, particularly with the staff salary. We asked them to review the pay grade of the staff. You cannot pay somebody with a degree $150. The person is an HR and all of that. So they were able to understand and make some allotment for us, especially for goods and service. And then we are still on the back of the lawmaker to see the need, because you can see all of them taking over. I want to go to my house. I want to come to work. Because, like I say, my director general, myself, and my colleague, we use our salary to run the entity. If you see light on, it is on our salary. If you see cleaning materials, everything else we use to run the entity is on our salary. But by the grace of God, we are getting there.
Then the question is, how has this entity been running over the years, especially under the past regimes of the Unity Party, of George Weah specifically?
I think it is to be honest with you, President Weah time around 2019, that the entity actually got some spark up, during the stimulus package time. At the time, WFP and FAO came in from our understanding, a small, partnership with them. So yes, it was surviving. But something went on. Food I was taking at the time, I want to believe, was mismanaged, causing the partners to withdraw their support. So the staff that were involved, investigation was concluded on them. They've been dismissed because they were found liable for misapplying those donor funding. These were some of the initial steps. So yes, we've been able to do our best to get some of the partners back. I think when you came for our program, you saw the UNDP resident coordinator. It's not as easy journey, but one of the major things we succeeded doing was doing the preparatory aspect of the arrest agenda. We managed to get ourselves involved at every stage of the planning process to ensure that the National Food Assistance Agency is clearly captured in the national plan for the next 5 years. So in fact, we were privileged to have been the one to present on behalf of the entire agricultural sector the validation of the arrest agenda from our sector. National Food Assistance Agency represented the agricultural sector with 9 organizations for 9 institutions, including the Ministry of Agriculture herself. We make that case on behalf of the entire sector. So we have also succeeded in making sure that our programs, particularly the homegrown homegrown feeding programs, we want to ensure that feeding programs, whether it is for prisoner, it is for students, it is for whatever, we make more use of the locally produced food. You can see we all eat cassava, we all eat plenty, we all eat arrows. But more than that, can we incentivize our local farmers in a way that they can also produce more rice? So Our plan that was bought by stakeholder is, though we are going to be doing feeding, or we will make the feeding to be something that will put money in the pockets of the farmers to make more production in the country. That will enhance production, and it will also provide incentive for farmers by linking them to market and all of that. So we succeeded with that too.
Okay, yeah. Dennis, go ahead.
No, it's okay. He answered the question. So I was just about to ask whether how do they function in the absence of disaster related activities, and he has mentioned some of those engagement that they have already.
Yeah. So Bob, can you expand more on your plan for school feeding in Liberia? In many of the government institutions in the country, we don't see that happening anymore as it was before. So what is the institution plan for that?
Well, owing to the domestic of our entity, organizations that are involved with school feedings, we are struggling to get them to get a buy-in so that we can be able to. Because look, we should serve as the repository for all feeding programs. You got one or two groups doing segmented feeding programs in specific locations. We need to establish database on them. So now that our office is open, our next step is to invite all of the actors in the food assistance sector to the table, Mary Mills, Master Corps, WFP, to know where are they feeding, so that we can be able to track in real time who all are impacted by the programs, and to also regulate it in a way that if John Brown is feeding this place, then Peter Paul cannot feed in the same place. But yes, I agree with you, and that's one of the things we are working with the Ministry of Education to achieve, so that can also be owned by the government. You can't depend on partners to do that. When some of our growing up in Nigeria, you can see we could only go to school because we are sure that food will be there.
Yeah, sure. I can remember Chokon.
Yes, he said
Chokon usually did.
And that concept drove me to school many times. I don't know. I even used to go to school to eat and come back home.
Yeah, so government has to own that, and so I think progress is being made towards that direction. We just need more coordination with the Ministry of Education and all of the actors, involved with school feeding.
Okay. Yeah, Dennis.
Yeah, so are there plans also to work with the Ministry of Gender in terms of its welfare for the needed, in terms of feeding for the needed?
Yes, certainly.
Okay.
And thank you very much for bringing that up. We work on a plan. In fact, the Ministry of Gender and Children and Social Protection is the one that gave us all of the database for the different orphanages home in the country that we have been reaching out to in recent time. Like this week, by Friday, we'll be reaching out to a couple of them. Last week, we were at the the Reintegration Center built by Senator Dillon. Yeah. Well, another plan we are working on with the Ministry of Gender is the children you see on the street that are carrying their blind parents, their disabled parents on the street to bed.
Yes.
How we can work on modality together, because if it is just about going out to source out food for their home, how can we develop a sustainable feeding programs that will keep the parent home and keep the children in school instead of carrying their parents between cars to bed for food? So these are the programs, and by the grace of God, Minister Grammy Harris Colley is very supportive. We are working together on that. Hopefully, as the budget passes, we are continuing our engagement to make sure that we have a project proposal developed in that land, a joint project proposal to take these children from the street. Dennis, I know you as a sister, as a mother, if you are, you won't be happy seeing those children between cars with their blind parents begging.
Of course.
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. We don't have the luxury of time. So I was at your office during the turnover of the new structure there and some office supplies by the UNDP. But I mean, the office is very large, it's very spacious, but the number of staff you people get there, I know. Are you guys understaffed?
People resign. You can see $150 US in this country if you working for us, you can't work for it. It's a gross. Because like only car pay, especially an entity that no activity is going on, interactions, to say you have anything going on. So people resign, professional people are here resign, people were retired.
So how many staff you got currently?
Currently, we have like 23, or 23. I mean, a new proposal that coming up for 2025. We actually proposed 51 staff, but we could not get the funding, so we are bringing 31 at the moment. Okay. So yes, additional staff will come on board. Professional staff will help us with the rebranding of the entity. No procurement officer in this place. We're trying to bring that. No controller, because the controller our year resigned. It now work for $150. A professional accountant will need to do that. Okay. We didn't have an HR. We had to beg the Ministry of Finance to second one of their staff to us as a HR and Ministry of Finance. Still paid our staff. The lady who did a welcome remark. So yeah, it's been a little bit of calling and putting, but I mean, we are not giving up. We have sleepless night because we took over an entity that was dormant. But the prospect is high. The signals are all good. Okay. Our stakeholders themselves are getting to, and like I said, Honorable Boaka A.M. Salif, if faith is the master key. He's been a deputy minister in the Ministry of Agriculture. He's been a deputy director general at GSA. He's been around, so at least people know him and they know what he can achieve. Okay. And then two of us as young people are there to support him, and we are working very well, coordinating our efforts and engaging as a single team.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bob Cato. Is there anything you want to say quickly before we take leave of you, because we are out of time already?
We are begging the national legislature, reaching out to them to please help, give for the necessary support that will bring the entity back to its normal stage as it was providing food assistance in this country. I beg our lawmakers, as much as there's some issues between them, we are begging them to make sure that the requisite staff in line with the executive order the president gave, executive order 129, that we try to establish a requisite unit that will help us create food banks, because that was one of the mandates. We should create regional food banks. We should be able to buy food from the local farmers for redistribution. We cannot do these things if we do not have the requisite staff. And to get this staff means we should have allocation for that. We don't have it now. So we are begging them to help us with the allocation, at least to recruit the requisite staff. Those staff can sit there and project proposal, qualified person, you can bring in 150 or 300. Once they help us do that, we are able to pick up as an entity and be able to get them back as the NIFA you mentioned, like the National Transport Authority that was dormant, like the road fund that was dormant. It is only the human capacity of qualified, competent, and experienced staff that can make entity to spoke up for the good of our people. So God bless you, and God bless our people.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Since Bob Cato, Deputy Director for Administration there at the National Food Assistance Program. He's been our guest here on this segment of the show. And thanks to all of you who have been there listening to our conversation here. This I would like to come to the end of today's edition of the Today Show, your most preferred breakfast program. We will be here on tomorrow with another fascinating and informative edition of the show. My name is Yekezi Zobel. I've been here alongside Chokon Flaman and Dennis Nipson. We will be back here on tomorrow. Bye-bye.
From the top of Wologisi to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM. From the top of Vologisi to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM.